Good morning.
Good morning, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, so
Good morning, Urmia.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry we got a little delayed.
it's okay. All right, so we will just slightly review what we had done so that we can go forward. So, Krishna Bhagavan talked about Sthita Prajna ke Lakshan. Sthita Prajna is a person who got established in that higher knowledge. And what is that higher knowledge? He knows exactly what is real and unreal. He has a Vivek Buddhi is very strong and he got established in it. And then Krishna Bhagavan talked about, the characteristics of a realized person or a Sthita Prajna. And two main things were he is free of any worldly desires. And secondly, his senses are completely under his control. So, and then we were discussing that how sense control, different aspects of sense control, and that is very important to have a good grasp of the sense control. And the reason we want to have a good grasp is that otherwise we can again sway in different directions, just focus on sense control and forget about the goal and things like that. So we don't want to do that. And then what he said about the sense control was that the different problems that can happen, that if you just do sense control without knowing the goal, फिर उसमें रस रह जाएगा. So उसमें then the senses, it will burst out another time. So we don't want to do the sense control just for the sake of sense control. You have to know the goal. So that was another thing. And then he talked about, not suppressing it in the same context, but sublimation. And the difference in suppression and sublimation is by gaining the knowledge, of who Bhagwan is. And so then there will be sublimation. Otherwise, it will be suppression. And then he talked about the ladder of fall, that if your senses are not under control, what can happen? And then we know the whole sequence. And then he said, so the main thing he concluded was that we have to control the senses, we have to rise above likes and dislikes. That was his conclusion. So, these things have to be taken in a holistic way, not just hold on to one thing and, hey, this is the only way. No, you got to understand the whole thing. So then he said that Vairagya is rising above, because we are always born with likes and dislikes, especially us, who are like, if Krishna Bhagavan came as an avatar, he doesn't have likes and dislikes from the day one, but we do. So then he said that we have to rise above them, don't come under its sway. And then he said, if we rise above our likes and dislike, peace follows. So peace and happiness is kind of go together according to him. When we have that peace, we feel happy. But so in the world also we find joy. But the worldly joy usually are connected with our senses. My senses get pleased and I get this joy. So he's saying that joy doesn't stick around, But if that peace comes from the higher self, not from the senses, but being established in that higher self, that peace is the one that really brings that true joy. That's what the connection is. And then as we try to rise above our likes and dislikes, the sequences that happen is if we get purity of mind and we get clarity of the goal, gets more and more clear. And that gives us that happiness, deep satisfaction. And then he also mentioned that once you have that peace, all sorrows get destroyed in it. And then we talked about there are 3 different kinds of sorrows, all of them get destroyed. So we know that from the worldly transactions, that can never happen. So if you want all your sorrows to go away, this is the only and only path. In the world, we'll never find good justification and all that. You know that. I don't need to say. So,
I don't wish to interrupt. Did you put the recording on?
yes, I did. Thank you for checking. I did. I appreciate that because last few times I had forgotten. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. What are the 3 kinds of sorrows?
Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. So one is that is, in our own self, sorrow is created in our mind and our body affliction and all that. So it is by myself. And then the other one is surroundings. Some neighbor is disturbing, this is happening, that is happening. Third one is Devik. Like this pandemic, you can call it Devik. No humans have a control. They don't know what it is. Earthquakes and all those. So when we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti every time, this is peace from all 3. That's what in the Vedas they say. And those are the 3 sorrows. So that's the background. So now, then we are going to go to verse 66. So let's just read the verse and then we will discuss it. So he's here in this one. He's basically praising that prasad. Now everybody remembers what that prasad was. Prasad was the symbolic prasad is when we go in the mandir. But here the prasad was, anybody remembers what it was? Prasad when he's
The peace which comes.
with peace which comes with this pact is called prasad. So he's going to kind of praise the prasad, because that's the prasad we should be looking for, not the other sweets and all. Is good and fine, enjoying, tasting through our senses, but this is the real prasad. Okay, so here is the verse. I'll do it twice, and second time you can do it at your own home. Nasti buddhirayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana na chayutaksya bhavana na cha bhavataya shantihi na cha bhavayatah shantihi ashantasya kutha sukham ashantasya kutha sukham. Just want to make sure that my volume is okay. So here, no is not, asti is, buddhi is knowledge of the self. So last time, I think, किन्होंने पूछा था, one of you asked that what is mind, right? So mind का काफी विस्तार से सब कुछ वर्णन किया है, but for our sake, so that we understand this context, there is a man and buddhi we should remember. Man is at a slightly lower level in a sense, emotions are involved in it and data collection and all that. And when they talk about buddhi is the higher intellect, which makes the decision. जिसमें विवेक आता है. So that's why when Bhagwan said in the ladder of fall, buddhi nashaha, means विवेक खत्म हो जाता है. So वो जो discriminative capacity है ना, उसको बुद्धि समझना higher. So यहाँ बुद्धि में बताया गया knowledge of the self. So अगर विवेक बुद्धि होगी तभी हमको knowledge of the self मिलेगा. So उसमें purity भी आ जाती है, pure बुद्धि. So there are, it's a little deeper than just ordinary intellect. Because when we talk about intellect in the worldly sense, we always talk about, oh, that guy is so intelligent. And in the modern sense, sometimes it also means the guy is very cunning. He knows how to do the business very well. यहाँ पर वो बुद्धि कम नहीं है. It's more a purity. He has a higher value in him. And this is the next verse. Word is very, very important. Ayuktasya. Unsteady दिया हुआ है यहाँ पर, but actually उसका meaning, because sometimes English translation you cannot have the perfect translation. The other way you can explain ayukta is disintegrated. So yukta means one who is all together. Disintegrated meaning in this context, we have the three equipment: mind, body, intellect. So जिसका disintegrated personality होती है ना, they are not together. The mind, body, intellect. उसका mind, इंद्रियां भी, इसमें इंद्रियां भी आ जाता है. Indriya, body, mind, and intellect. So when it is not together, you are not fit for a higher knowledge. That's what basically it is. So we will go more deep into it because this word is the main word in this one. So when you're basically what he's going to explain is that how chariot, you remember the chariot analogy, all of you? Ki bhai, horses are the senses, the reins is the mind, and जो charioteer बैठा है ना वो higher intellect है, purified intellect. So अगर chariot में वो harmony नहीं होगी, युक्त नहीं होगा, तो chariot में क्या होगा? वो घोड़े दौड़ रहे हैं कहीं, mind is not behind it, क्या बोलना चाहिए, mind goes behind the घोड़ा. Yes, so the घोड़as are making decision where to go. Mind is following the ghoda and intellect is just not even there. Intellect, start justifying, oh, jaane do bhai, jahan jata hai jaane do. Now compare this to our life. Indriyas hain, right? हमने कुछ देखा, बिना सोचे समझे कि मुझे भी ये करना है. So mind ने emotion डाल दिया उसमें. हाँ, ये तो बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है, मुझे करना है. And then intellect ने थोड़ा रोकने की भी कोशिश की. Intellect ने बोला no, this is not the right thing to do at this time. But if you don't have the firm intellect, then intellect will start justifying it. That's where the biggest danger comes and you become totally ayukt. That's what it means. Did everybody get it what I'm saying? So
I think you need to explain one more time.
Okay. So जब हम कोई भी काम करते हैं ना तो उसमें क्या क्या चीज इन्वॉल्व होता है. हमारी इंद्रियां, बिना इंद्रियों के तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. अग्रीड? Senses. Indriya means senses. Hearing, seeing, smelling, touching. Tasting. These are the indriyas. Indriyas don't have any power until the mind is behind it. Okay? किसी के घर में से आवाज आ रही है. I think कमला जी के. Yeah, okay. म्यूट पे रखना. जब आपको बोलना हो ना कमला जी तब आप ऑन कर देना. So mind has to be behind it. That's why sometimes think about it, Anilji, when we are sitting and I'm very engrossed in something, and then somebody comes and talks to you and you're not even listening, right? So that means the mind has to support otherwise you cannot have the experience. So everybody agreed? Now, mind can start supporting it, but you have another higher faculty in it, in yourself, which is the intellect, which can say, this is not the time I want to indulge in this conversation. So, then you might say, hey, I don't want to talk to you right now, I'm busy or something. That is the intellect's part. Okay? So now, when we are transacting in the world, see where your decisions are coming from. Are you getting just swayed by the indriyas and the mind is going behind it and the intellect is justifying it, or reverse? Reverse is when जो घोड़े हैं ना, जो रथ है उसमें जो रथी है उसका कंट्रोल है. तो इसका मतलब इंटेलेक्ट का कंट्रोल है आपके. तो आपका इंटेलेक्ट जो है ना वो कनेक्टेड हो गया है हायर से. So you know the goal now, right? Now the intellect is telling, hey, I need to do this in life. When my intellect takes that firm stand, mind automatically follows. Mind follows, इंद्रिया तो automatically चली आएंगी. तो वो analogy घोड़े में, रथ में, जब रथी ने ले लिया कंट्रोल, तब वो खींच के रखा है उसने मन को, फिर वो घोड़े वहीं जाते हैं जहां वो उसको ले जाना चाहता है. लेकिन अगर उल्टा हो गया ना, घोड़े अगर स्ट्रांग हो गए और घोड़े जहां जा रहे हैं अभी मन भी वहीं जा रहा है और वो सारथी तो सो ही गया. So basically you are saying
that mind should always be under the control of the intellect.
Perfect. That's exactly what Bhagavad Gita says.
Then
Yes.
you reach the higher goal.
Yes, there you go. So see how it is all connected. And then remember, when we're talking about intellect over here, don't misunderstand the intellect, what we say worldly intellect. Huh? No cunningness and all that. Here the intellect is, because we have to remember that the intellect which has studied the Shastras, knows the goal, knows what is right, what is wrong, what is Shreyas, what is Preyas, all of so many things, whatever we have studied up to now, that comes under that intellect. So when you say ayukta versus yukta, now you know what he's talking about. Ayukta means person who is not integrated, उसके जो घोड़े बॉस बन गए हैं, और जो युक्त है वो उसका intellect boss है. It's exactly the reverse process. I hope
but tell me something. जैसे सुबह उठना है, 4 बजे का अलार्म बजा और मन कह रहा है कि ना थोड़ा सा और सो ले, तो is that मन or is that intellect?
मन, 100% मन. बिकॉज इंटेलेक्ट क्या बोल रहा है, आप क्यों उठना चाहते हो 4 बजे?
पर आपने बताया ना कि इंटेलेक्ट भी स्वेड अवे हो जाता है.
तो फिर आप जब हम लोग नहीं उठते हैं तो इंटेलेक्ट कहते हैं अरे क्या फर्क पड़ता है जी, एक बार सो लो, कल उठ जाना. दैट्स कॉल्ड इंटेलेक्ट. व्हेन इंटेलेक्ट सपोर्ट्स द माइंड. When your intellect did not support the mind, then intellect is a boss. Intellect says नींद आ रही है, कुछ भी हो रहा है, उठो, चाय पियो, जो भी करना है उठो बस अभी.
Yeah, that's justify, like, okay, because your mind always wants to be the boss.
Yes, mind wants to be the boss, and mind is at the lower level, जो तुम्हारी lower faculty boss बनना. गुलाम जो है ना, वो कौन गुलाम नहीं चाहता मैं boss बन जाऊं. सभी boss बनना चाहते हैं.
I want to make it clear. So your mind wants to be boss, but actual boss is intellect. But sometimes mind control even your intellect. It influences your intellect also.
So when you said mind is a boss, it depends on what you want it to be. Mind can become a boss. Even ghodas can become a boss, and there will be a disaster in the life then. Because
so when we say what I want to be, it means I have to control my intellect. I have to make my intellect stronger than the mind.
True. And when you say control, meaning purify your intellect. You should have the clarity of the goal. Clarity of the goal comes by studying the Shastra, doing the satsang and all that. Because, most of the time when we first time come in the satsang, सब उल्टी बातें सुनने में आती है. Like,
नहीं, clarity भी है. Listen. Clarity है, that's why I decide कि मैं 4 बजे का अलार्म लगा.
Yeah, but what you are talking about clarity is a very small mundane stuff. He's talking about much bigger clarity here. He's talking
like even bigger clarity. Like a lot of people are struggling with this. They have the clarity of their goals, but they don't have control over the mind, because mind make you fool. It says, oh no, that's okay, So I'm trying to understand which part is more
okay
powerful.
Here I'll give you in your own words. You said some people have clarity of the goal. खाली clarity होने से कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला unless you put an emotion in it. क्योंकि that's why you need a yukta personality, means integrated personality. जब तक intellect, mind और इंद्रियाज align नहीं होंगे तुम उस गोल की तरफ नहीं जा सकते. So अगर क्लैरिटी कोई बोलेगा हाँ मेरे को तो सारे शास्त्र मालूम है, फिर वो गुफा में बैठ गया, वो कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा है, तो then how is he gonna do his goal? Okay, my goal is मेरे को और लोगों को भी उठाना है, उसको बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा. So basically what you are trying to say, clarity is one aspect, but that only clarity is not gonna do it. Then when you put your emotion in it, in the correct thing, and then your indriyas will follow, then your body follows. Then you do proper action. That's the sequence. Think about it, okay? Okay, so
one way, I think Sadhguru explained the whole mind and intellect thing, that mind requires memory, and intellect does not require any memory. And I don't know how you differentiate that, but anything that requires memory is lower than intellect.
See what Joe you are saying is a very, very high level, because that is more like when people become self-realized, they do intuitively everything. Right now, we are not in that stage. So for us, the way
But
Bhagavad...
you should be calling that intellect. It's still mind.
Well, here, that's why I'm saying that this subject is very complicated. See, when it comes to mind, even Western philosophy and Western psychology and Western medicine and all that, they have barely scratched the surface of what mind is. So in this one class, we won't be able to grasp the whole content of mind.
There's a talk on YouTube by Sadhguru talking up all these aspects of intellect, mind, and other stuff.
Yeah. So, but when we are studying Bhagavad Gita, because we are on chapter 2 only yet, it's going to open up a lot more. Just focus on few things about mind so that we don't get totally off subject. Right. So here, there are 2 levels of mind that I think everybody understood, at a lower level and higher level. That's one. And second thing you have to remember about mind is that's where the consciousness shines. Meaning that's where we transact all our business. जो एक बोलते हैं ना कि life has come into this being. One is a matter and spirit. Because I think that also discussion, let's do a little bit, because very important to understand. It already come to that stage where we should know that. So one is the matter, one is spirit. या life बोलो या कुछ भी बोलो. World of matter is a lot simpler to understand in a sense that all the research that we do, everything is on the matter. Is everybody agrees? But what makes that matter alive? In the Western philosophy, there's a big debate about it. Okay, nobody knows what life is. Eastern walon ko, through the Vedanta, they know it. They can define it, consciousness. So how the molecules work and things like that, सब कुछ मालूम है उनको. But वो molecule में life कहाँ से आती है वो नहीं मालूम. Okay, so according to Vedanta, the mind is the one where the consciousness reflects and we become alive. Okay, so just remember that that's a medium through which our whole being becomes alive, or any living being. So that's another context of the mind. That's why mind is so important. And then, so in this analogy, when the consciousness is shining through the mind, the reason we have problem, according to Vedanta, is the mind is not clean. It's like a mirror where the reflection of the sun is happening, but the mirror is dirty. So the reflection is not bright. And that's why when they say about purifying the mind, is nothing but cleaning all that dirt. And then we talked about it. There are 6 different things they talk about: Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. Those are the things we're trying to clean up. Then the, reflection will be... I'm sorry.
We clean the intellect, not the mind.
It's
mind is just a serpent. It follows the intellect. So we need to clean our intellect.
See, don't get into technical things right now. Just remember that when we talk about mind, it's only from our understanding what we are trying to get it. Okay, no, mind is not something fixed. Okay. We can't even see the mind. It's antakaran. It's a adrishya for us. We all know we have a mind. I cannot. Hey, this is my mind. I cannot do that. It's not a fixed box. And then all this is nothing but a flow of thought. Okay, so they're all. Yeah, the higher level of thoughts are intellect, the lower level are, so it's very complicated. So don't get into too much technical stuff right now. Basically, when you say clean the mind and all that, even at emotion levels, we have to clean it. Don't have, so just say emotion, somebody was explaining energy in motion. Somebody gets overly emotional, cannot do anything. But like you were saying, to reach my goal, I need that emotion. So इमोशन की भी बहुत वैल्यू है, और ये भक्ति में तो बहुत ही वैल्यू है. यू आर टेकिंग दैट एनर्जी ऑफ इमोशन एंड यू आर डायरेक्टिंग इट टुवर्ड्स भगवान, दैट बिकम्स भक्ति. Okay, so these are some of the aspects. Okay, so this word ayukta, now I hope everybody got it, that when you're integrated it's yukta, and when you're not integrated is ayukta. Na is not, cha is and, ayuktasya of the unsteady. भावना सब लोग को पता है ना कि हिंदी में जो भावना बोलते हैं वो है फीलिंग्स, मगर Bhagavad Gita is a subtle subject. In this context, bhavana means meditation. Because जो सच्चा meditation होता है ना, वो भावना के बिना नहीं हो सकता. Unless your mind and intellect are together, indriyas are all aligned, you cannot have meditation. So that's why यहाँ पे भावना meditation के लिए use किया गया. Bhavana, na is not, cha is and, abhavayatah, of the unmeditated. Shanti, peace. Ashanti, peaceless means, kala, जो भी opposite of शांति का क्या होता है, कितनी चीजें हैं, riot है, शांति क्या opposite हो गया, और दिमाग में war चल रहा है, too many thoughts are coming.
Restlessness जहाँ पे भी है वही.
Restlessness वही है, शांति हो गई. Exactly. So it has a little bigger, meaning. Bhavana is abhavata, shanti, हाँ. Ashanta is peaceless. Kuta means where. Sukham means happiness. So here is a conclusion he's coming at. And here is number 66. And Neeluji, you didn't read last time. Maybe you can read the English translation first, and we'll have a little more discussion, and then we'll read Swamiji.
Sure. There is no knowledge of the self to the unsteady, and to the unsteady no meditation, and to the unmeditative no peace. To the peaceless, how can there be happiness?
So here Krishna Bhagavan is telling the person who has no knowledge of the self, means ayukta person, and अगर वो किसका ही हाल होगा, वो meditation कर ही नहीं पाएगा, because he doesn't have an integrated personality, because his senses are the strongest one and they are just disintegrated. लेकिन अगर जिसको self की knowledge आ गई है, that person can meditate. And here is saying, and to unmeditated no peace. So जिसको meditation नहीं कर पा रहा है, और यहाँ पर खाली एकदम technical term में नहीं लेना meditation, ले भी सकते हो, मगर he is talking about the broad, the one who is connected. बोलते ना कि वो मेरी टीचर बोलती थी एक्चुअली कि अपना वो तानपुरा चालू रखो भगवान से जुड़ा हुआ. हम लोग ऐसे भूल जाते हैं ना दुनिया में, we think our goal is to achieve this, achieve that. No, our goal is self realization. बाकी सब साइडी गोल्स हैं. So वो जैसे म्यूजिक में बोलते हैं ना कि आई थिंक मीरा जी इज हियर, द सिंगर, जब कोई अच्छा गाना गाना होता है तो वो तानपुरा चाहिए ना पीछे कॉन्स्टेंटली, फिर वो उसको आपको एक बैलेंस स्टेट में रखता है. तो शी सेड वो भगवान का तानपुरा चालू रखो. And then here also in Bhagavad Gita, he actually told him that keep your mind on me and fight the war. Because जो अर्जुन का जॉब था वो तो हम लोग के जॉब से 1000 गुना ज़्यादा खराब था. He had to kill his own people, his 2 favorite people. My God, it's like you can't even compare. So he's telling him to do that. So अपने लिए तो आसान होना चाहिए, that hey, once you know the goal, keep that goal in mind and then work in the world. So that's kind of meditation. And to unmeditated no peace, and जो जिसके पास पीस ही नहीं होगा उसको हैप्पीनेस कहाँ से मिलेगा? बिकॉज हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, हिंदी में बोलते हैं मुझे तो बस शांति चाहिए. सभी लोग शांति के पीछे बिकॉज उसी में सुख मिलता है. इसके लिए जब कोई बहुत घर में भी क्लेश वगैरह चालू हो जाता है तो मुझे तो शांति चाहिए, सब बंद करो ये, बिकॉज वी वांट दैट पीस इज द ओनली वन दैट इज गोना गिव अस हैप्पीनेस. सो दैट्स द होल कॉन्टेक्स्ट. एंड वन ऑफ द Swamiji talked very nicely about the meditation part. I thought that was kind of important in today's world. So he said, people, because there's so much publicity about meditation right now, there are so many magazines, so many universities are doing research and ye wo. So even the Western लोगों को भी बहुत interest आ रहा है, meditate करो. So he said, सभी लोग खाली meditation की तरफ जाएंगे. No, I want to meditate. तो बोले उनको ये भी सिखा सकते कि भाई कैसे बैठना है, कैसे अपनी इंद्रियों को में काबू रखना है. All that you can teach the methods. But until you know what your goal is in meditation and that internal journey that you take, it's not going to be useful. It will not take you to the highest. So that's where this meditation ka whole thing comes, that you have to be yukta to do the meditation. if you're not going to work on that integration of your personality, meditation is not going to fructify much at all. It will just stay at the lower level, So when he talks about that meditation, that's very, very important to remember in this context over here. I thought he brought a very, very important point.
You have to follow all 8 limbs of Patanjali to meditate.
Because his and you will see that yam niyam pratyahar that comes at the bottom. और तुमने यम नियम ही नहीं किया तो I'm meditating कुछ नहीं होने वाला. That's what it is. That's exactly right. Because even all the other lines of meditation, if you go by all these Rishi Muni's methods, very simply they have given. There's no magic in there, that suddenly you will start meditating, you will see light and this and that and all that. Unless you go through this for this purpose, it's nothing going to happen. So that's a very important point over here. Okay. So now we can read any other question on these concepts, because if we know this concept, then it will open up nicely. Shall we go forward?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Neeluji.
Here is an explanation of why quietude of the mind is so often and so insistently emphasized in the literature explaining the Hindu technique of self-perfection. Unless the mind is quiet, the individual will have neither the intellect, leisure for cultural self-development, nor the inner energy for consistently living spiritual perfections that a truly developed man yearns for. Unless there is tranquility, there cannot be steadiness or intellectual application to the problem of life. Without this self-evaluation of life and true observation with a clear determinative analysis,
discriminative
analysis, we cannot have within us the required amount of devotion to self-knowledge, bhavna.
Okay, I just want to say that here the discriminative analysis, jo Sanskrit mein words hai viveka buddhi. Everybody knows this word viveka, but that's what he's talking about. And like he said, self-knowledge and bhavana, it's all that it's connected to that meditative state. That's what it is. Go ahead.
Without such a glorious goal before us, constantly beckoning us unto itself like a pole star, our life shall be a lost ship in an ocean that is going nowhere, reaching nowhere, and ultimately floundering upon some treacherous rock.
So he's just giving that analogy, and actually that next verse has that analogy that if you don't have an integrated personality, and that integrated personality you have arrived at it by listening to the self-knowledge, Shastra, Satsang and all that, you have arrived at that. If you don't have that in your life, your life will be like a boat which is in the big ocean, and it's just going where the waves are taking you, where the air is taking you, wind is taking you. You are not controlling that boat, and you know what can happen in that. Nobody can reach their goal. That's what he's comparing. So to keep that integrated personality, and then he's telling that they need a pole star. those ship वाले को ध्रुव तारा चाहिए ताकि ओ ये उत्तर है, मेरे को यहाँ जाना है. तो वैसे ही हमारा अगर गोल एक बन जाए ना लाइफ में, तब हम उस नाव को उस तरफ लेके जाएंगे. सो दो रीत है. एक तो कंट्रोल में होनी चाहिए नाव. फिर अगर यही नहीं पता है कि मुझे जाना कहाँ है, imagine, even that is a problem, right? I may be a very good boatman, but I don't know what my goal is, and I'm again going in circle. So both sides are very important, that I should have the correct goal and I should have a control. That's what it is.
The one who has no philosophical goal in life to strive and yearn for will not know what the peace of mind is. To the one who is thus restless, there is happiness. To live in balance and sail safely on the uncertain waves. To live in balance and sail safely on the uncertain waves of the ocean of life through both its smiling weather and stormy days. We must have a constant perception of the real. Without a drummer, the dancer's footwork cannot be rhythmic and cannot keep perfect time.
So here he's saying to the restless, where is happiness? तो वो restlessness कब आती है हम लोग को जब हमारा हम गोल बराबर नहीं हो. Like, even in the worldly arena, you see people who are very successful in their worldly endeavors. They have the same process if you think about it, because whatever Krishna Bhagwan is telling us about the spiritual goal, it 100% applies to the worldly goal also. Because you see anybody who has a very fixed goal, he knows his life path. Nothing can shake him, and he knows how to control his senses. He knows अगर उसको 4 बजे या 3 बजे उठना आएगा वो उठ जाएगा. अगर उसका गोल उसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, उसने सारे इमोशंस डाल दिए हैं उसमें, फिर उसको अलार्म भी नहीं लगानी पड़ेगी, अपने आप ही उठ के बैठेगा वो. So that's what it is, that unless you have that goal in your mind, other things are not going to follow. So and then here the reason he's saying a purified mind and all, because in that purified mind only we can understand the higher. We cannot understand the higher if we are constantly having our indriyas are running here and there, from one pole to the other in the world. We don't have even time for the higher. So that's why he's saying this, that understanding that goal. And then other example he gave over here is drummer and dance, the same like तानपुरा and singer, कि वो dance करने के लिए उसको वो drummer के ऊपर ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, then उसका dance rhythmic हो जाएगा. तो हमारी life में भी अगर हमारा goal हमारे को अच्छे से मालूम पड़ गया, spiritual goal, फिर संसार में कुछ भी होता रहे, we can handle it so much better. Our life will become smoother. That's what he's talking.
Umaji, you did bring up the Tanpura example which your teacher gave, and I find it so very appropriate, and very quickly I just want to explain why. क्योंकि classical music जब जो सही तरीके से सिखाते हैं उसमें बैकग्राउंड में तानपुरा ही बजता है, हारमोनियम में नहीं, क्योंकि हारमोनियम में आप सारे सुर लगा लेते हैं, तो आपका तो एफर्ट कोई है ही नहीं. मान लीजिए आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा प कहाँ पे लगाना है या ध कहाँ पे, तो आपने बजा लिया हारमोनियम पे और उसके साथ गा लिया. लेकिन तानपुरे में सिर्फ 3 बेसिक सुर बजते हैं, सा प सा, और बाकी जितने वो आपकी मेहनत है. तो दैट इज जस्ट टू कीप यू इन चेक कि भाई ये आपका बैकग्राउंड, आपका स्केल ये रहेगा, लेकिन उसके साथ मेहनत आपको करनी है. वो रास्ता आपको देखना है कि आपके सुर कहाँ जा रहे हैं और कैसे ठीक लग रहे हैं.
Excellent.
So I just thought it was so appropriate over here that it's not being, you are not being spoon-fed or being served something in a silver platter. आपको रास्ता बता रहे हैं, अब इसके आगे मेहनत आपको करनी है within that framework. So आपकी टीचर ने, मुझे लगता है, with my background of classical music, जो मुझको लग रहा है इतना appropriate example दिया है.
Right, and she very nice. I'm glad you connected and explained even further, because she used to always say, हम लोग का वो language इतना common हो गया था हमारी study group में. She used to say, तानपुरा चालू रखो, तानपुरा चालू रखो. We knew exactly what she was saying.
Not sitar, not harmonium, क्योंकि और जितने भी हैं उसमें आप सारे सुर लगा लेते हैं.
Interesting.
तो फिर तो आपको आसान हो गया, आप बस इसको फॉलो करते जाइए बजा बजा के. लेकिन इसमें बस बैकग्राउंड में बजता है ताकि स्केल आपका सही रहे, आप उससे ऊपर नीचे गिरने ना पाए. लेकिन बियॉन्ड दैट आपको अपने आप अपने सुर लगाने हैं, देखना है कि सही सुर लग रहा है. That sort of thing.
Beautiful. Okay. Anybody else wants to make a comment, question, wisdom before we go to the next verse? Okay. So now let's see. So in the next words, he's going to open up more the relationship between Indriya, Man, and Buddhi. So now, we had certain questions. It's going to get opened up in here. So, because we have this chain of thought, so let's just work at, and we already discussed a little bit about it, that in order for us to do anything, Indriyas, the mind has to be behind Indriyas. Everybody got it, right? Now suppose that the very gross example, when we were like young. We just came to America. All of us came from India. And here, there were, in those days, there were no malls. All of us must have done this fascination with the mall. और कुछ काम नहीं है, चलो जी मॉल चलते हैं, मॉल में जाते थे तो फिर ये देखा वो देखा, एंड देन हाउ लाइक ऑल ऑफ अ सडन हम लोग गए थे एक काम करने के लिए, हम वहाँ मॉल में, और वो तो बिल्कुल भूल गए और 10 चीज़ें और लेके आ गए. दैट्स द एनालॉजी दैट व्हेन द इंद्रियां, जिसे बोलते हैं ना कि गाय घास चरने जाती है तो गाय को जहाँ घास दिखती है वहीं चली जाती है वो. सो इंद्रिया को भी ऐसे ही बताया है भगवान कृष्ण ने, गाय की तरह चर रही हैं हर जगह. सो आई थिंक दैट दिस एनालॉजी फिट्स ऑल ऑफ अस. आई डोंट नो अबाउट ऑल ऑफ यू. आई डिड दैट व्हेन आई जस्ट केम.
We all did that.
Yeah, because I know we all have a similar background in India, so that's why you can connect to it. और अभी कोई बोलता है ना मॉल जाना है तो सर में दर्द हो जाता है. It's like, कोई इंडिया से आता है, okay, you can go to the mall, I'll drop you and I'll pick you up, right? You absolutely चला गया सारा fascination. So now अगर हमने कोई चीज़ देख ली, okay, वो पुरानी बातें याद करो. हमने कोई चीज़ देख ली, खाली देख के चले गए इंद्रियों से तो कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला. You don't care. All of a sudden when you see something, you say, ये कितना अच्छा है, I want this. You have put your emotion in it. Okay? And in those days when we had just come, none of us were millionaires. We were like on less, husband की salary, your खुद की salary. Then your mind will justify, नहीं आज तो ले ही लेते हैं ये. So how the mind, it's okay, it's no problem, I'm young and I need to enjoy my life, whatever. चाहे means में हो या नहीं हो, I want that. So mind और intellect दोनों उसके पीछे लग गया. So हमारी कितनी energy waste हुई है उसमें, imagine. So because all that requires energy, right? So you have put it in there. Where was the time? कोई बोलेगा मंदिर में जाना है या कुछ गीता की स्टडी क्लास में जाना, बोला I don't have time. We had plenty of time. But हम लोग की इंद्रियां चल रही थी वो टाइम पे. That's what I was saying. That reminds me that my co-teacher in Houston, she's a very, very nice lady, and she told me that when she started Bal Vihar and all that when she was very young, but because her uncle was in Chinmaya Mission, and he said uncle used to tell her, Chinmaya Mission आओ, ये पढ़ो, तो वो हमेशा बोलती थी, मैं उनको बोलती थी नहीं मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. तो बोली एक दिन अंकल ने बोला सोने के लिए टाइम है, तो बोली हाँ. नहाने के लिए टाइम है, तो बोली हाँ. ब्रश करने के लिए टाइम है, हाँ. खाना खाने के लिए टाइम है, हाँ. तो फिर इसके लिए टाइम क्यों नहीं है? बिकॉज ये माइंड को क्लीन करने वाली बात है. शी सेड पता नहीं उन्होंने क्या ऐसी बात बोली, वो लग गई उसके दिमाग में. देन शी स्टार्टेड गोइंग एंड शी सेड दैट्स इट. वंस आई स्टार्टेड गोइंग आई कनेक्टेड एंड ऑल दैट. सो दैट्स व्हाट इट इज, दैट इंद्रियां चल रही हैं. दैट्स व्हाट इज गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट, दैट इंद्रियों के पीछे मन चला जाता है, मन के पीछे बुद्धि चली जाती है. एंड देन वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कि हाउ if that's what happens, your life is like a boat in a big ocean with no direction, this thing, and it depends on the force of the indriyas. If it is very powerful, it can drown you. The boat can get capsized, or it may go in the direction also. That's also possible, but koi guarantee nahi hai life ki. That's the kind of thing that we're going to study in the next one. Okay. So with that background, let's go to the 67. Indriyanam hi charatam. Indriyanam hi charatam. Yanmano nu vidhiyate. Yanmano tu vidhiyate. Tadasya harati prajñam. Tadasya harati prajñam. Vayurnavam vibhambasi. Vayurnavami bambasi. This is tongue twisting, all these letters over here in Sanskrit. Okay, who is going to read it? Premji, you want to read? You have the book. Oh, I need to do the Sanskrit part, right, first? Yeah. Let me do the Sanskrit part first. I just realized I didn't do that. And then you read it, okay? Indriyanam is the senses. He is for Charatam is wandering. और ये word हम हिंदी स्पीकिंग लोगों को मालूम है ना, गाय चरने जाती है. Just keep that in mind. उसके wandering meaning घास खा रही है, means इंद्रियां जो है ना going after, eyes are going after all the things that eyes like. Ears, I want to hear this music, do this. Taste is I want to eat all the rasgullas. That's what it means. Indriya chartam, wandering. Yat is which, mana is mind, anu vidhiyate follows. So the mind follows the indriya. Tad is that. Asya is his. Harati is carries away. Prajnam, discrimination. So here he's talking about that how the higher intellects get hijacked. That's the right word. Hijacked by your lower mind, and the lower mind is getting hijacked by the indriyas. So that's the sequence here. And versus the one who is a yukta person, his intellect is so firm, that's why it's called firm intellect. Sthita prajna, the person who is established in that. He's the one who's going to pull his mind in first, and the indriyas will follow automatically. So here it's ulta. Prajnam is discrimination. Vayu is the wind. Navam, everybody knows now what it means, boat. Iva, like a boat.